Hey everyone, and this week I wanted to talk about the first episode of She-Hulk Attorney at Law. At the time of this recording, the second episode is also out, but I haven't watched it yet because I didn't really have time to. Now, before going into this show, I've expressed how I feel in the last MCU video I made, but I was very skeptical, I guess is the best way to describe it. I wasn't really looking forward to it at first. And then when I saw the second trailer, I was like, okay, they got Daredevil in there. So, this could be, better than I thought. But as time went on, especially after I released that last video, I sort of started to go back on my original thoughts. I don't think this show is going to be very good. Based on what I've been hearing about it and the clips that I've been seeing, it just doesn't seem to me to be anything different. But hey, I'm gonna give it a shot, like I give all the things I watch a shot, So here are my thoughts on the first episode of She-Hulk Attorney at Law. This episode really disappointed me, mainly because if you've seen the trailers, you've pretty much seen this first episode, which is why I think they should have released the first 2 episodes so that we could have a little bit more to go off of. My first impressions so far are that I don't really like Jennifer Walters so far. Now keep in mind this is only going off the first episode, but she just seems very arrogant and unlikable. I also don't like how they portrayed Smart Hulk in this episode. Once again, he doesn't seem like a threat because they make him seem super weak and basically a joke. I know everyone has already clowned on the fact that Bruce says brah for literally no reason. It doesn't even make sense as a joke. He just comes out of nowhere and says it. Speaking of not making sense, maybe they'll explain more as they go on, but I have some questions regarding Jen and her transformation. How is she able to transform that fast when it took Bruce a little bit longer to transform? Also, why doesn't she act different as Hulk and just go straight to acting normal? Maybe it has to do with the fact that since Bruce was already Smart Hulk when his blood got into her system, she just immediately skips to being able to control it? I don't know, to me it doesn't make sense. Also, don't get me wrong, I know that Bruce trained her and that's the whole point of this episode, but how is she able to fight the Hulk so easily? How the fuck is she able to hit Bruce with the car and not have Bruce destroy it by sheer strength? Also, I understand that she's now super strong and everything, but there's one important detail that doesn't make sense in the fight. The fact that Bruce is male, and therefore should be able to hold her back easily because males are stronger than females. And that's not me being sexist, that's a fact that can't be argued with. It's perfectly understandable that she would be stronger than the average man, and one of the strongest Avengers, but against Bruce in his Hulk form, she shouldn't stand a chance. So overall, this episode isn't very good at all. It doesn't make sense, it's not funny, and it does nothing to change my opinion because we've already practically seen this episode already. So yeah, the first episode isn't very good. In fact, I think it was really bad. And I've seen quite a few people trying to rank the first episodes of all the MCU Disney Plus shows, and I can't really tell you what my exact ranking would be, but I can assure you that She-Hulk's first episode would be at the bottom of the fucking list, because I really did not like this. I actually think that there was certain things about the first episodes of all the other Disney Plus MCU shows that I did like. There was always at least a few things I liked. But with She-Hulk, I don't really think there's anything I liked. It was honestly really disappointing. I'm not saying, again, this is just the first episode, Who knows, maybe the next 8 episodes will be a masterpiece. What really puzzles me is that Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, I've seen interviews where he's like, oh, well, this show is very exciting because it's a whole new tone that we've never had before. And I just sat there like, what the fuck are you talking about, a new tone? This show feels no different from the other MCU properties so far. it's given me, I don't see it. Maybe, again, this just based on the first episode, this feels like every other Disney Plus MCU show, not in quality, but in tone. I'm just talking about the tone here. It feels like every other MCU movie and show. Like, it's just, there's nothing, the tone doesn't feel different, which hence is why I'm worried for when they'll bring Daredevil into the series. So yeah, that's something that actually kind of pissed me off. It's like, this is not new. Like, I don't understand how they act like this is just something that's gonna blow us away and something we've never seen before. And you know what? I know I say this a lot, but everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I don't think that there is, a right opinion. With that being said, however, I simply cannot understand how any longtime MCU fan can have no problems with this episode. I really don't understand it. I respect your opinion. If you loved this episode, that's completely fine. I just personally don't understand how someone can think this episode was great. It's nothing new. It's nothing we haven't seen before. It gave me nothing new. It didn't do anything for me. So those are all my thoughts. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yes, I will be reviewing all of the She-Hulk episodes because, I like talking about the MCU, even though it can really piss me off sometimes. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a good night.